guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Ada. So in this episode, I am going to be talking about marriage. Marriage is a big time commitment. It is a lifetime commitment. It is something that we want to do once in our lifetime and stay in it for the long term, right? So, but unfortunately, it has become kind of something that people just go in to try and see if it works. And if it doesn't work out, they feel like they have an exit way, and that is not what marriage was intended to be like. So in this episode, I have a few things that I want to talk about, what you need to know before getting married so that you stay in it for the long term. All right, so if this is something that interests you, or if you are planning to get married, then this is the video for you. So stay tuned so that we can talk about it. But before we do, have you already subscribed to my channel? If you have, thank you very much for subscribing. And if you have not, hit the subscribe button so you can get my self-care tips, my fashion ideas, and much more. Okay, so without further ado, let's get talking about marriage. All right, so what's the first thing you want to know about your partner before getting married, right? You want to make sure that you guys are compatible. Compatibility is very important. And when I say compatible, like, you want to know if this is the person that you would like. Can you see yourself spending the rest of your life with this person? You have to really ask those questions to yourself. And, if the answer is yes, after you have considered all of the things that I'm going to talk about, then that's it. That's your person. But if at the end of all of these things that I'm going to talk about, if at the end you cannot see yourself with this person, then that is not your person. Then that is why people end up getting divorced, because you married the wrong person. I believe that there is such thing as marrying the wrong person, and that is usually as a result of not doing your homework, not knowing much about the person, not asking yourself all of these questions, and not asking each other all of these questions, not really getting to know each other as well as you should before making that commitment. All right, so that is the number one thing you want to know. The number two thing you want to know is, you want to ask them about their family. That is why divorce rates are so high, because people don't know much about each other. They just get into a relationship without really finding out what the family background is like, because people don't investigate before getting married. 50% of marriages end up in divorce, and these are the reasons why, because people go into it blindly without much investigation. So the number two thing that you want to know about your partner before committing is you want to know their family background. Like, what's their family like? Are they the type that will see divorce as an alternative? Like when the going gets tough, they get packing. You want to know, are their parents together? What is the divorce rate in their family? How do they see marriage? You also want to know, what is their relationship like with their family? Are they close? Because if they are close, then you want to see if you want to be a part of that closeness. Because, like, let's say, for instance, your partner is very close to their family and they spend holidays with their family. You want to talk about those things because, maybe you also like to spend time with your family, or you don't. And, that may be a problem for you to have to spend time or holidays with their family, because in your family, maybe you didn't grow up like that. Maybe you guys just, never really had that family bond, and that is not something that you want to be a part of. So you guys got to talk about it. Or perhaps you spend a lot of time with your family. You expect to spend your holidays with your family, and he also expects to spend his holidays with his family. You guys got to discuss it so that when holidays come around, you guys know what the game plan is. Maybe you want to spend one holiday with his family, and you want to spend, the other holiday with your family. So you guys can divide it up like that. But without talking about these things, you would not know, and you would just be going into it blindly, thinking that it's going to go one way, and then it ends up going another way, and it causes a problem in your relationship. All right, so the number three thing that you want to know before, or you want to talk about and know before committing, are you going to be able to get along with his family or her family and friends? Because there are situations where somebody might have certain family members that you don't like, and so you want to get to know the family first, because when you're getting married to somebody, you're not just marrying the person, you're marrying the entire family. So that needs to be talked about. You need to meet certain family members and make sure that you guys are going to get along, right? You got to talk about money. Yes, you do. You need to talk about finances before you commit, because some people come into a marriage with a baggage, and if you don't know what baggage they're carrying, and you're finding out after the marriage, that could cause a huge problem, because finances are one of the number one reasons that people get divorced, right? So you need to know each other's financial situation and be okay with it before you go into it. Like, do they have debt? Are they owing student loans? What kind of credit do they have? Do they have a lot of expenses that they're owing? What are their spending habits? What are their plans for their future? Like, do they plan to buy a house? Or do they want to just live in an apartment for a while? What are your saving goals? Like, do you want to, save money and then eventually get a house? Like, you need to talk about those things. I had some classmates when I was in nursing school where this girl and this guy, they got together, they were dating and stuff. And then, when we graduated from nursing school and they became nurses, they had a plan. Their plan was, okay, because nurses make pretty good money, especially when I graduated. Nursing was hot, and you graduating making a big chunk of money. So they had a plan that, okay, we're gonna spend your income for our expenses, and then we're gonna save your income to buy a house, so that in a couple of years we will be able to buy a house. That was their plan. And so you have to have goals like that together, and you got to talk about these things. Okay, the next thing is, you guys, this could be a deal breaker. You need to talk about children. You need to talk about having children. Are you guys going to have children? And if so, how many children are you going to have? When do you plan to start having children? Do you want to have them right away, or do you want to wait for a while until, because, especially for the girl who is going to be the one to carry the pregnancy and bear the children, are you in school? Are you going to be able to start having kids right away? Does he want to start having kids right away? You guys got to talk about those things and agree upon it. Or do you want to take a break for a while and finish school or get situated with your career before you start having children, or maybe enjoy each other's company a little bit before you start having children, because children are a big responsibility, and once you have them, you can't get rid of them. So you want to plan ahead of time and talk about it and be on board with each other on it, okay, so that it doesn't become a problem in your relationship. And so the next one is, how ambitious are both of you? Because ambition can play a major role in your relationship. It could make or break your relationship, and when I say ambition, I'm talking about like you guys need to be on the same page when it comes to ambition, all right? Because one person may be more ambitious than the other, and it could become a problem because, at times you may need to go out of state or out of the country or out of the area and do like some kind of internship or training. And that could, keep you guys apart from each other. So you need to talk about those things. Like, if you're on the same level of ambition, okay, you guys are hustling to get what you need, maybe that may not be a problem, but it becomes a problem when one person is more ambitious than the other, and you may need to leave and go away for a while to, take care of what you need to take care of, take some kind of training outside of the country, and you may end up having a long-term relationship for a while. And so you guys need to talk about it and make sure that that is okay with both of you. All right. So next thing you guys need to talk about is your approach to health. Like, how do you see health? Are you a health nut, or do you care about your diet, or do you just like to eat whatever? Do you like to exercise? You know, you don't talk about those things because one person may like to exercise, the other person may not. But you need to know because that is going to be part of something that you are dealing with on a regular basis. Like if he likes to go to the gym a lot, that means he's going to be away from you for a while, or maybe it's something that you guys can both get into, or you can encourage each other to get into. Or like, let's say, you got to make sure that you are happy with each other's approach to health. Like, do you like to eat healthy, or do you not? That could be a problem. Like, especially if you are the one that prepares the meals and you really don't care about eating healthy. And I am not the one that prepares the meals, but I like to eat more healthy foods. That could be a problem. So you guys need to talk about it. His lifestyle or his approach to health will affect yours. So you need to know about these things and be on the same page, and then, kind of figure out how you're going to go about it. Right? So how about spirituality? Spirituality is also very important in a relationship. You need to know how spiritual each other is. Do you like to go to church? Do you not? Because how they say a family that prays together stays together? Yeah, I believe that's true. I mean, I think it's weird if one partner likes to go to church and the other one doesn't like to go to church. And on Sundays, like, what do? I go to church, you stay home. That's not a healthy relationship. So you guys need to talk about that and see how you can work that out. Okay. It's best if you are equally as religious, but if you are not, still talk about it so that you guys can work it out and see how you can, still co-mingle with each other's, religious beliefs. Shared responsibility is another one that is very important to talk about. So you guys need to talk about, like, who's going to be doing what. Like, you can divide things up, like, especially like when you have kids, who's going to be responsible for the kids? Is somebody going to be willing to, work less in order to attend to the kids? Or is somebody going to be willing to do the house chores more than the other, right? So you guys have to figure those things out and know who's responsible for what, right? You divide up your chores, and so that you guys know who's going to be doing what, so that there is no issues when time comes, for like for instance, you might be a couple who one works a lot of hours, and maybe your income is more, and then you guys can talk about it and say, okay, well, maybe you will take care of the house chores and the kids while I do most of the working, because it makes sense that way. So you guys talk about these things. Everything needs to be discussed, and at the end of the day, if you discuss all of these things, you are on board with each other. And guys, I cannot stress how important it is to do your homework, do your investigation. You have to investigate each other. I mean, I know it sounds harsh and it sounds like you're spying on somebody or you're being nosy, but honey, it is not. It is your right. You should not feel bad about that, because this is your life. We're talking about your life, your entire life. You are committing to spend your whole life with somebody. So you have every right to investigate them and know everything about them and their family. Like when I was getting married to my husband, we did this. We investigated each other's family. There is nothing wrong with that, because everybody needs to know whether this relationship is worth it or not. We need to know if our families are compatible. And, it's not a bad thing to do. You need to know these things. So investigate each other. Ask questions. Ask people that know these families to are they the type that will run when the going gets tough? Are their parents together? You need to know these things. These are important facts that will help you decide whether this marriage might work or not. And you shouldn't feel bad about it. We did it. I know it sounds harsh or like you're spying on each other, but you have to spy on each other because you want to know everything about each other. And there is no way for you to know unless you ask questions, unless you investigate, be a detective, and send your family members to investigate as well, you know? So that, because this is a lifetime commitment, this is somebody that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So you need to know everything about them and their family so that you know that you are making an informed decision. Okay, that is the point. You want to make an informed decision. You don't want to make a decision based on lack of knowledge. All right. Okay, so that is it, guys. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up and give me that, you know, and you can comment down below and let me know what you think. You know, if you don't, you know, like certain things that I said about it, you can comment, you know, but be nice and kind. And, you know, we're not trying to fight. I'm just stating my point of view about it. This is how I see it. Okay. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. All right. Bye-bye.